Republican support is soaring right now, which can only mean one thing. They are on the offensive and they are confident right now. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, was on CNN and triggered the whole panel when talking about Doge. Watch this.
I think the issue is they're not whacking enough. There's this concept in private equity when you get a bankrupt company and you go in there, you cut 20% more than your initial read. And then you find, like a pool of mercury, the organization gels back together again. Always cut deeper, harder when there's fat and waste. The FAA, it's not the people. The code is cobalt. It's from the 60s. It needs CapEx put into it for the technology to be upgraded to make it safer. Fat like a chicken. All of these agencies are like big fat chickens dripping over barbecues of fat. This is the best barbecue I've ever seen, but I don't think it's happening fast enough. They're not cutting enough. Keep slashing, keep hacking while you have a 24-month mandate before the midterms. Cut, more cutting. Believe me, it's going to work out just great. Everybody should be happy about this.
Even people with the nuclear codes, cut them too?
Cut everything. Because if you don't see what they're doing and they can't show you that they're adding value, you whack.
I love it. I love it. They try to bait him with something they know isn't real, like, you know, the people with the nuclear codes are going to be fired or something like that. And he just says, yeah, we'll cut that too. Because this is the problem for Democrats right now. You say cut the government down and they go, oh, but not my friend in the State Department, right? Like, we're not going to cut them. Or, no, not my friend who works in USAID. We don't want that. And all of this is just making them look more and more corrupt. We're looking at it and we're like, dude, you realize that you are giving away that you're corrupt every time you're scared about government cuts. We can all see how scared they are of small government. It's very suspicious. Everybody sees it. That's why Doge has incredibly high approval rating right now. I think that Kevin O'Leary is saying something here that all business owners understand, and I honestly think most Americans understand this kind of just intuitively. You have to break some eggs sometimes in order to make an omelet. And since Elon Musk is the head of Doge, I feel like his takeover of Twitter and the way he does business is kind of the perfect example of this. He walked in for Twitter and overnight he cut off all the fat. 80% of Twitter laid off. We know the story. And the app, if you kind of remember, if you go back, I actually didn't get on Twitter. I was never on it before Elon Musk bought it. He bought it. I got it on immediately. Again, this was like right before he made the changes. And then he makes the changes. And if you remember, the app struggled for maybe 3 weeks to the point where I was like, this app isn't great. Like there were some problems and we all were like, well, you know, he just laid off 80% of his employees. We'll see how it goes. But again, it lasted about 3 weeks. And then after that, it became better than it ever was. And I think the same is true for the government. If we asked 80% of the employees in the government, we'd see like a month-long span of struggles. But I think the bloated size of our government just creates awful hiccups in the first place. So it's like, would we even really notice? Like, honestly, would it maybe get a tad worse? I'm not saying for sure it wouldn't. Like, I don't really know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't because it already sucks. I don't know how it can get much worse than it is. And again, that's why I think myself included, but I think most Americans support Doge, is we look at the government and we think it already sucks. Like, let's just try something new. Can it really get worse than it already is? Most Americans don't think it can. And so they're like, let's take the risk. Let's try something new. But I also agree with Kevin O'Leary that I want Elon Musk to find a way to do it like 10 times faster than he currently is doing it, because Doge will expire in 2026. And I don't really want it to have to exist after 2026. I want them to go full steam ahead and get it done in the next 2 years. Do you or your partner struggle with snoring or mild sleep apnea? Guys, it is time to take your sleep back with the partner of this show, Snore Medic. As a non-invasive night guard, Snore Medic Plus is designed to relieve snoring and mild sleep apnea, and it's an affordable solution that can restore peaceful nights for both you and your partner. If you're the snorer, you know how frustrating it is to wake up exhausted, and if you're the partner, you're probably sick of nudging them every night. And for those dealing with mild sleep apnea, CPAP machines can be bulky, expensive, and uncomfortable. The Snore Medic Plus is the perfect alternative. It's quieter, more comfortable, and way more convenient. With Snore Medic, you'll reclaim restful sleep. You're going to wake up energized and strengthen your relationship. There's no more nagging, no more separate bedrooms, just peaceful, uninterrupted nights. Plus, it is incredibly affordable. There's no costly sleep clinics or CPAP machines required. And best of all, this is my favorite, Snore Medic comes with a 60-night risk-free trial. If you don't love it, you get a full refund, no questions asked. Plus, for listeners of this show, you'll get an extra 10% off, 4 free gifts, and free shipping. Join over 20,000 customers worldwide who trust Snore Medic for better sleep. You can order it right now at trysnoremedic.com/Josh Carr to get that discount. Again, that is trysnoremedic.com/Josh Carr, or you guys can simply go to the link in the description below. Here's my favorite video of the week, guys. Piers Morgan and Riley Gaines were talking to a trans activist about the Olympics, and this trans activist said something so ridiculous that both of them started laughing in her face.
Absurd, from top to bottom, saying there should be a gender-neutral Olympics?
I know.
Are you serious?
Madness.
Do you also believe, Blossom, that we should combine the Paralympics and the Olympics? I would love to hear an answer to that.
Okay, I'll ask her. Bring back Blossom. Blossom, should we combine the Paralympics with the regular Olympics? Have them all compete with each other?
I mean, why not? And to go back to Riley's point to
why
that
not?
last
Yeah,
point.
okay. You are completely insane.
Let's
Oh my
go back to that last point.
I think their reaction is all of our reactions. And this is the problem with the trans movement, guys. They started off with this experimental medicine. This was like 50 years ago. These ideas that no one had just really heard of, and it was just kind of, again, no one had thought of it because it was literally so dumb that why would you think about it? And for a while, because of that, they encountered absolutely no resistance. But then studies started to come out showing how harmful this medicine was. And you had people like Riley Gaines talking about how unethical this was and how it was harming not just those people, but society at large. And when those people finally encountered opposition, like this person's encountering in this video, they have essentially 2 options. The first is that they can admit they're wrong, which is a really big ask from them because, again, they've made this their whole identity. Or they can dig in deeper. And what you just saw from that trans activist is that they're digging in deeper. It's not just that person, it's their whole community. They know deep down how ridiculous it is to argue that Paralympic athletes and non-disabled athletes should compete in the same sports. Anybody knows that that's ridiculous, but they cannot depart from the lie now because they're too far into it. And to admit part of it would be to give up their identity and their whole community. And that's why they dig in. The only reason, I think the only thing that we can do in order to combat this is exactly what Piers and Riley did, which is frankly just laugh and point our fingers at the ridiculous ideas that they say. This tax season, the IRS wants your money. Luckily, I've partnered with a business that hates the IRS as much as you do, so they fight to get you every single dollar that you already had and they're trying to take, and that business is Quick Tax America. Quick Tax America does all federal returns for only $69. It's a completely transparent price because it's their only price, no matter how complicated your taxes are. They do all the work for you, unlike the other massive online services that make you take 4 or 5 hours and you don't even know how much it's going to cost at the end. Again, it's only $69. It's transparent and they do all the work. All you got to do is simply upload your files, answer a few basic questions, and schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional, and they do all the rest of the work. Go check them out at quicktaxamerica.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.